Welcome to week 3. Let's take a look back at week 2 and then we'll jump in. First of all, kudos to you on your APA style from week 1 to week 2. Many of you had some issues that I asked you to work on and you did that, did a fine job, and it reflected in your paper. I really appreciate that. Kudos on you. Also, a shout out to Fun. She is the one who resolved the research problem challenge that we talked about in the live session, and she will be getting the Amazon gift card. Vaughn, thank you, and thank you for also including a video. I listened to it. I think I mentioned it in the announcement. I kind of like the vibe to it. Nicely done. Thank you. A couple of shout outs for the VoiceThread. Check those out below. I appreciate your work in this VoiceThread. I listen to everything, comment on some things, but I always kind of come back with a synthesis. One of the things that I noticed in the two different ones is in the T, there were a lot of different variables in that one that could have led to why the T had any correlation to health. And then the second one was the perceived status and education income. Special shout out to Brianna for her excellent work on that post. You may want to check it out. So appreciate your posts and work on that. All right, let's talk about this week. Well, we got 2 heavy lifts this week. Well, they're not really that heavy, but let's take a look at them. First, you want to go through the overview and to-do list right here and check out that video about systematic literature reviews. That might be of help to you. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to have 2 lifts this week. One is a case study and an individual assignment as well. So the first one, let's take a look at it, because you're going to be in 3 bands this week: the Go-Go's, the Split Ends, and the Cure. Now, some of you have already jumped in. Thank you. Shout out. What you're going to need to do is we're going to need 3 volunteers to come up with a case study. So if you want to work on your own assignment, this is your opportunity. Let's go to it real quick. Laura and Capricia have already come up with case studies. So 2 of the case studies are already spoken for. You want to offer up a case study that your group or another group is going to have to work on? This is your opportunity. So that'll need to be done by Tuesday night at 11:59. So if you're up at 11:58 and one hasn't been done, you've got some last minute work to do. So once we have those, then we'll assign them to the Go-Go's, which will be Brianna, Isaac, and Matthew; Split Ends, Vaughn, Iffy, and Michael; and the Cure, Dante, Laura, and Capricia. So what are you going to have to do? Well, you can read those directions, but let me just take you to one to show you what you're going to be working on. So you're going to have the group name, the group members. You already know who that is. You're just going to put your case study in here, and then here's your instructions, right? And you're going to work on that. Y'all, if you want to work on Zoom, you can do that. However you want to work together. If you want us to arrange a Zoom room for you, we can do that too. So you just let me know. Stay in close contact. Otherwise, just check out the expectations and what's going to need to be done. Now, one thing I have found out in doing group work online is the earlier the better, because things always seem to go wrong if you put that off to the last minute. So you may want to jump on that early. And the other thing you're going to be doing this week is a literature review, an annotated bib rather, which is essentially a literature review. Now, you've already got 3 articles from last week, so you can potentially use those, or 3 other ones. But here's what you're going to do. Completing a literature review of 3 articles, right? And you're going to contact our librarian, research librarian at HSU. And here is his name, Jeremy Maynard. His information is in your Canvas course. Now, you're going to give him a call, and he's going to let me know that you did it. And what you're going to do is you're going to work with him, going to come up with these 3 articles. And like I said, as you can select the articles in line with the research question you did in Module 2, and you may even want to use those 3 articles. But you'll just kind of come up with what does an annotated bib look like, and the information is in there. So you've got some work to do this week. You're going to work together, and then you're going to do an individual annotated bib, which is similar to a lit review. So appreciate the work that you've done in the course, and keep up the good work. Let me know if you have any questions. Sometimes group work can cause a little bit of heartburn in an online course, but it is so essential in becoming a good researcher. Thanks, and have a great week. Oh, by the way, all your work is graded from last week.